Today on the podcast, we are talking stock, trade, and invest with my man Omar Williams. They call him O. So get your pen and paper out, take some notes, because he's going to drop some knowledge today on you guys. Frame on 8 podcast starts right now.
Get your mind right. Get your mind right.
It's a brave mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Frame of Mind 8 podcast. This is your boy Simbawi Nibaye Jr., a.k.a. TK, with my man Omar Williams. We call him O, and Denise, we call her D Nice. Y'all say what's up to the peeps.
What's going on, guys?
All good people.
It's another lovely Wednesday. Y'all know how we do. We jump right in and get things started from the get-go. But it is Affirmation Wednesday, and y'all know how we do with our affirmations. We get things started and going correctly on the day. So if you have affirmations or if you've got them written down or memorized, it's time for us to get started on that. And if you are ready, I'm looking to see here. Oh, I got all this stuff going on here. Hold on. Let's begin. Today will be a good day. Today will be a great day. Today will be an amazing day. Today will be an awesome day. Today will be a phenomenal day. Today will be a stress-less day. Today will be a stress-free day. Today, all things will line up for my good. Today, I'll become better than who and what I was yesterday. I am an overcomer. I am victorious. I am triumphant. I never lose. I either win or I learn. I take authority over this day. I will dominate this day. I will conquer this day. And everything I have affirmed will happen on this day because I am more than a conqueror. Let's get it started. So, as we've done before and will continue to do, this is our Stock, Trade, and Invest podcast with my man O. So, I am going to step out of the way as well as Denise, and we're going to let O do his thing today. He'll tell you guys what he's going to talk about. And like I said, get your notes out, paper, pen, pad, iPad, tablet, whatever you use, telephone, cell phone, whatever, and get ready for some great advice today from man O. O, the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Like again, I'm always appreciative of my opportunity to speak. So here we go. Today is going to be some really good information. I suggest you get your notepad, your pen, your paper. Yeah, take it down. And before I get started, this particular strategy, because it's one piece of a bigger pie. This particular strategy is for disciplined folks. It's not for people who are having a problem with money. It's not for people that are can't control their budget, don't even know their numbers. So before you even get to this thing here, go to one of my previous episodes when I'm talking about how to create a budget, all the things to look at and all the things to break down. Go through that episode first, then come back over here. Okay, so do that first. I call it getting your numbers, understanding how much is going out and how much is coming in. You got income and you got outcome. Some of our outcomes is not because of our income, it's how we're spending our income. All right, so let me get this started. Start the road to financial freedom using loans or debt to pay off debt and rebuild credit. Okay. We're going to start with the intro. Then I want to talk about the types of loans that there are. Okay. How to evaluate loan options, because it's a bunch of different loan options. Again, we'll get into it. There's different ones. Then once you pick out the loan option that you want to devise a plan to pay off your debt. Then once you pay off your debt, paying off financial obligations, and then investing that money. So it all comes back to the stock market or investing at the end of the day. And then I'm going to wrap it up with the conclusion. And after that, I'm going to break down some numbers for you guys just to put it in front of your faces and show you what when we don't understand things or not quite understanding loans or what things mean or what credit is or what types of credit there are, we actually end up paying a lot more money than we know, and sometimes we just don't know. So here we go. Introduction. So debt can be a difficult burden to overcome, but it doesn't have to be. With the right strategies, you can use loans to pay off debt and rebuild your credit. Okay, this presentation will explore the borrower's path to debt freedom and provide tips on how to use loans to pay off debt and rebuild credit. I know people are saying, why am I getting in more debt to pay off debt? Sounds like it doesn't make sense, but when you break down the numbers, makes plenty of sense. Okay, so let's get into the types of loans that there are. There's several types of loans available for borrowers looking to pay off debt and to rebuild credit. Okay, there's secured loans such as home equity loans. Okay, and that, like, a secured loan uses collateral to secure the loan. So what that means is you're putting up something to receive the money from the bank or whoever institution you're getting it from. So what happens is if you cannot pay that loan back in time, or when the throughout the term of it, if you can't pay that back, they come and collect on whatever the collateral is. So if it's your house, they'll take it from you. There's stock credit lines you can get where you put up your portfolio and you can borrow against it. That's a brilliant idea if you know what you're doing. So say you got $100,000 worth of shares, you can put up $100,000, get 80 to 70% loan against that, so you can get 70 grand, right? And usually the interest rates are really, really low. So you can use that 70 also while that money's still working for you because it's in the stock market. Now, again, if things go left, it's a secured loan, but it's backed by your stock portfolio. So you're kind of covered with that, okay? Then there's unsecured loans, such as personal loans, and they do not require collateral. We're more familiar with these loans. That's stuff like credit cards, car loans, different loans like school loans, anything where it's just going by your credit score or your history and paying things back. Those loans are unsecured. Okay, so the bank usually looks at your profile, looks at who you are, what you are, and the bad part is you would think, why do they need to know all that stuff? But they have their numbers and how they come up with them. Who you are, what you are, how long you've worked, what kind of income you have, your history of paying your bills, right? Then they approve you for that. Okay, it is important to understand the different types of loans available and their associated terms and conditions before applying for a loan. Let's just not jump into things because they're like, oh man, they're gonna give me 25 grand. Well, did you look at the terms, the conditions, of everything? So here we go. Evaluating loan options. When evaluating loan options, it is important to compare interest rates. So let's not just pick anything. The repayment terms, okay? There's loans out there or credit lines out there where they can call the loan. Okay, what that means is it could be a 10-year period where they say, okay, you have 10 years to pay this back, but it's something in the fine print that says things go bad for the bank. They can actually call that loan. You got to pay it up right when they ask for it. That's why some people are skeptical about using debt. Again, that's why we're talking about it. And this is for responsible people, okay? The repayment terms you need to look at, the interest rates you need to look at. You look at the fees that may be in these loan options that they're presenting you, and other factors, okay? It is also important to understand the potential risk associated with taking out a loan. So if you ever heard of people saying they were over leveraged, well, that's what that is. It's like you borrowed all this money. So you have a man out there named Robert Kiyosaki who believes in debt to the fullest. Like he's 1000% for debt, but he knows how to use it, right? But he could also find himself in a position where, again, like I said, if these banks called the loans, he's got such a good reputation, though, they're not going to call his loans. They know he knows how to make money, right? So they're going to give him all the money that he's able to borrow because he knows how to give them back. If he's borrowing one from them, he's going to give them back their whatever percentage they want. But then when you're dealing with people like us, like, you know, we're just regular people trying to get it started, there is a risk in it, right? So that's why you keep your profile right, you keep your credit score right, you pay your bills on time so that you become an actual asset. Have you ever heard this before? Become an asset to the bank where y'all get a good relationship, right? They can count on you. They'll give you all the money you want. If they know they can count on you to you know, keep doing right by this money, and you keep paying them back, you become an asset to them, and vice versa. Okay. It's also recommended too. Like I said, I'm not a fiduciary. I'm not a financial advisor. It's recommended to contact a financial advisor to discuss loan options and how to best use loans to pay off debt and rebuild credit. Sidebar: a lot of times they'll look at you like you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. If you don't have a big history with them, or if you don't have you know, a lot of assets under ownership, like if you don't have a lot of assets, they may look at you like, you sure you want to do this? I know you want 80,000, but we'll only give you 20. Like they'll kind of hem and haw you because they don't trust you, but your score and your profile add up, but they still may not give you the full potential. That's why you got to shop around different banks and get the best ones that'll work for you. But sometimes you'd be surprised, man. You go in these places and they don't treat you like you should be treated. But again, that's all part of the homework and the due diligence and finding the banks that will give us what we're looking for. And it's good to have all the information before you even go in there. Know what you're going to say, know what you're looking for, and know what you're talking about. Okay? Because they'll ask a lot of questions to try to get you to look like you're just in there not knowing what's going on. Okay. Then once you do that, then you want to devise a plan, okay, to pay off the debt. Once you've acquired the loan, it is essential to devise a payment plan. This strategy should include the loan amount, the payment arrangement, and a strategy, which we're going to talk about tonight, to settle the loan on time. Okay. It is essential to guarantee you can bear the cost of the loan installment and to adhere to the payment plan so as to pay off the loan and reconstruct your credit. So for example, right, if you're using debt, say you use debt or you want to borrow money to want to get into real estate, right? You want to buy homes. Okay. Some people will buy more than they can afford to pay back. So when you borrow this money to buy these homes, you need to make sure that you can actually pay at least the monthly payment on the loans that you bought from. Regardless if you bought 5 homes and you financed them all, and they gave you financing for 5 homes, and you had the money to put down because you borrowed and whatever. Now you got 5 houses that you have to pay the mortgage on. Now you're going to rent them out, but if you don't collect the rent, you need to be able to afford, okay? You need to be able to afford that monthly, okay? So what happens, so before you even get into this, break your numbers down and come up with a strategy to pay the loan on time. And the majority of the strategy is, do we have enough money? if we don't take in anything, if we don't make anything, can we still pay these payments on time? Okay. Next slide. Now, once we get to that point, you want to get to the point of paying off all your financial obligations and then investing. Okay. After paying off debt, it's important to consider investing in a diverse range of assets, such as what we talk about usually is stocks. You can invest in bonds, you can invest in real estate, and even alternative investments. So an alternative investment is it could be art, it could be collectibles, it could be cars, just you name it. It could be land, it could be vending machines. Like, that's an alternative investment that's outside of the norm of stocks, bonds, and real estate. Okay, so say you're not making that much money yet. So say you pay off your debt, and now you have, whatever amount of money you have coming in, you may not have enough for, real estate at the time. So you can invest in some stocks, or you can invest in some bonds, or if you're not really sure about those things, you can invest in vending machines, or you can invest in a truck. Let's just say you buy a truck, and you start making deliveries as a subcontractor for Amazon, right? It's just different things you can do once you have your money coming in and your cash flow coming in. Okay. Okay. Also, building an emergency fund and creating a long-term savings plan should also be considered. Okay. And what they say about long-term, that's up to you. Long-term savings plan should also be considered, but yeah, I don't want to get that advice. save enough for whatever you think you need, whether that be 6 months, a year, a quarter, which is 4 months, however you feel you need to save, do that. Okay. The key is to find the balance between risk and reward that fits your financial goals and risk tolerance. And in conclusion, using loans to pay off debt and rebuild credit can be a powerful tool for debt freedom. It is important to understand the different types of loans available, which we're going to break down after the commercial, evaluate the loan options, create a repayment plan, and use other methods to rebuild credit. By following these steps, you can use loans to pay off debt and rebuild credit, and ultimately achieve debt freedom.
Cool beans. So we're at the halfway mark. We're going to take a quick break and come right back with my man O. I might have a question to myself or a statement going along with this, but Frame on 8 podcast will be right back.
Are you looking for an apparel company that's positive, uplifting, and truly cares about you? Then look no further. Frame of Mind Inc., an apparel brand company, impresses on individuals to think positive thoughts, say positive things, and do positive deeds. Get positive apparel such as t-shirts, hoodies, and wristbands for children, teens, and adults in various colors and sizes. Customized services include logo and t-shirt design, screen printing for individuals, families, schools, profit, and nonprofit organizations. You can reach Frame of Mind Inc. at 302-689-3499 or visit their website at www.frameofmindinc.com. Frame of Mind Inc. Think it, speak it, achieve it.
It's a frame of mind.
All right. We are back with the second half of our stock trade and invest here with the man O. And real quick before O goes to that next part, the one thing I do want to say is that you talked about making sure you have enough funds to do what it is you want to do. It's very important because a majority of us, I would say worldwide, tend to live above our means. And that can be very dangerous because that's called playing catch up. And playing catch up can take a very long time depending on how far above your means you are living. So, and we said this before in our previous podcast before, like O said, go back and get the first ones and work your way up. If you're just now joining us in season 4, but we got season 1, 2, and 3 out there. So, but please make sure you are not trying to impress other people or catch up with the Joneses trying to live above your means. Stay within your means, within your budget, and you will be just fine. Oh, floor is yours, my friend. Back to you.
All right, so this is where it gets. This when we get to the nitty gritty, and we're gonna be done because this is where, when I said you got to understand different loans and evaluate different loans and understand what they mean. So there's 2 different types of loans or types of credit or whatever. There's amortized debt and there's simple interest. Okay. Let me just read it and then I'll start breaking it down for you. Amortized debt is a type of loan in which regular payments are made to pay off the principal, which is the amount borrowed, okay, and the interest. While simple interest is a type of interest calculation in which the interest is charged is solely based on the principal amount borrowed. Okay. Amortized debt is typically used for long-term loans, such as mortgages, okay, student loans, car loans, right? While simple interest is used for short-term loans and revolving credit, such as credit cards. Now, just in that definition alone is how you can use a strategy to turn these long-term loans into short-term loans, just by on the definition alone, right? So we've heard of amortized, if we haven't, amortized debt is like a mortgage, right? And when you get a mortgage, they'll give you an amortized schedule. Okay. And what that means is, so let's just kind of look at one. We'll look at one right now. So if you could check this out on my the site is called calculator.net. Okay. I did one for, it's a house right here that I put in the numbers for 350,000, 30 years loan term, okay, and 6% interest. Everybody follow me. What that comes out to is your monthly payment will be $2,098.43. Okay. Now, here is what your schedule, like when you buy a house, everybody who has owned a home or bought a home, you get one of these. See all these numbers break down here? These numbers, 1, 2, 3, that's the years. Okay. And this is the balance based on the years. This right here is the interest paid that year. And this right here is the principal amount that goes down in that year. Okay. So your first year of owning your home with these numbers at 6%, your balance starts at $350,000. Now, this is an amortization schedule. Your car loan will have this too. So what happens is, for the first year, you pay 20 grand in interest and only $5,000 to the principal. Okay. So
Hold up. Stop. Pause. I want to make sure people heard that exactly how you said it. $20,000 in interest, $5,000 to the actual payment. That's what you said, right?
In the first year of owning your home.
In the first year. I'm just gonna let that sink in for a moment. I'm gonna get off screen. I'm sorry, brother.
No, fine. No,
I mean, my thing is this: is that's crazy.
That's right. That's why the Bible talks about taxes, right? But I'll leave it. We'll leave that's another.
We'll leave that alone. We'll that for another time, brother. Another time.
Taxes and tariffs, right? What'd you say? Got you, brother, man.
Continue on, brother.
Yeah, they getting us out here. So, but this is the amortization schedule. So, like, what happens is it looks great because you get to borrow 350 grand for 6% a month at $2,000 payment. So, like, you're looking at it like, we can afford those payments to get this nice house we like, right? So and again, it sounds good. It's a way where people that don't have a lot of money can buy a house you probably shouldn't get, right? But you can afford it because they package this loan situation and it's amortized debt. So they don't even talk about that. They just say, here's your loan, here's your payment, and in 30 years, you have a house now, right? So just check it, and we'll keep it short. I won't even go down every year, but like your first year, you've only knocked off five grand. No, you knocked off 5 grand. Your second year, you knocked off another 4 grand. So what happens is once you get over the 15th year, it starts to accelerate because you done already paid the front end of this mortgage, all the interest up front. So the bank, what they know is the average person doesn't pay a home off, right? So they get all interest up front. Like you don't even start to hit that principal until year 15 to 20. That's why there's other methods. Again, this is a slither of paying off things fast. You could also pay an extra whatever amount of money per month and just hit that principal, and that principal starts to come down. But the only thing with amortized debt, even if you hit the principal, just say Just say first year, right? The first year, your payments, you've only paid $4,000 on the principal, but say you put an extra $5,000 on top. So now you've paid $9,000 off in your first year. Your payment doesn't change. Okay. You still got to make that $2,098.40 something cents. Okay. So that's big too. So what happens is people see 6% amortized and thinking they're winning, and you might see 20% simple interest, and you're like, I'm not paying 20% for that. Why would I pay 20%? Well, 20%, you may pay more in payment, but once you start hitting that principal, you only pay 20% on the principal. So as you knock that principal down, that 20% is nothing. You knock the principal down on amortized debt, that loan, the payment still stays the same. The payment goes down with simple interest. Thus, that's how it goes. So let's do this. So this is what happens. We'll fast forward. So this is a 30-year amortized, and in 30 years, they're saying you would pay it off in zero. Okay. Now let's break this down. Do you see this right here? In 30 years, there was a total of 360 loan payments. Okay. You've paid off the house twice. See that number right there? You've paid the bank $755,433.66.
That is sad.
Sad, brother.
That is
so
sad.
you buy a house twice when you play out the way they want you to do it. So here's the rub. This is how we win. Okay. First, like I said, this is for financial responsible people. If you want to pay a car off fast, you need to switch over the interest payments. So what I'm saying is get out of these amortized schedules and get into some simple interest. So, but you need a good profile for that. You need good credit, whatever. So just to give you, I'm not going to give you everything we do, but I'm going to tell you this. We got 2 credit lines. Okay. That's another thing too, right? So when you get equity in your house, because we also have we got home equity line of credit. They call it a HELOC, which is simple interest, right? So listen, usually when people get equity in their home, they go get a home equity loan. The home equity loan is amortized. Okay. So you may have made 50 grand in equity, but the loan money that you now owe, you pretty much got a new mortgage on the new amount, amortized debt. Now you also can take that 50 grand that in equity you have and get a line of credit against it, which is simple interest. So we always want to go for the simple interest, no matter what the interest rate. That's Omar's opinion. There's other opinions out there, but I know that simple interest is way better than amortized because it chunks down faster. So this is what you do, right? This is what you do. Again, there's other debt methods. There's the debt snowball or whatever. So once you learn this and you have some type of cash flow, you wanna get as much money as they'll let you borrow. Sounds crazy, but you got to hear me out. So this is what we have. I got a 20. We got a credit card with some money on it. We got a line of credit with some money on it, and we took out the little bit of equity we did have on the new house we bought because we bought it at such a good time that it had equity in it in the first year and a half. So we have that. So now we have another property that we have that we rent out. So we're going to use all these simple interest debt weapons, okay, to pay off the rental house. Now, this has been in the making, but it will be paid this year because we're going to take all that money along with other money so what you do with your cash flow, some people recommend taking one, like, so if you don't have all these different debt weapons and you have one, just say you had one that was 15,000. You take 11,000 of that, put it on the principal of your mortgage, use the cash flow, that you have, pay that back down, rinse, wash, repeat. It makes things, it speeds up everything because now you're knocking down your principal payments by 11 grand per whatever amount of months it takes you to pay it off. So let's just say you had a car and you had 6 grand paid that was left on it. You could take that simple interest debt weapon, pay off the 6,000. Now your cash flow now becomes what the payment of that car used to be. So now you got an extra 350, 450. I hope y'all are following me. Okay. I may be talking too fast. So now you got that as cash flow. So now what you do is you now take that cash flow along with your debt weapon still. And this is only if you have one. We have 3. Work to that, which makes things even quicker. Okay. You take that one thing. Now you have 350 to 450 cash flow because your car payment is now paid off. You don't have a payment no more. Now that's cash you have now. Okay. We want to take that money, pay off what we just used it. We pay off our debt weapon, get that down to 0, and now deploy another amount. Now you put that towards whatever next you need to pay off. That's amortized, which might be your house. Okay, so you put that 11 grand, right? And you rinse, wash, repeat. All meantime, you're doing your money right. Now, I don't do that way. I put my money, my extra money goes in the market. We keep feeding the market, okay, until it gets to a certain amount of money. Now, I think that the market, again, it's been a down year, but when it turns up, we'll make that money in the market. It may not take us as long, okay, which, things are looking up. And like I said, I think by the end of this year or before the end of this year, we'll have a house paid off. You put that money in the market, money makes money. You get that amount. So say you have 50 grand left to pay on a house. You've been putting money up because you got cash flow, putting it in the market. It's money making money, right? Say your money that you're putting in the market now turns into 25 grand. And you also have 25 grand in a debt weapon. You now could take your debt weapon, take your 25 grand you made in the market, pay off that last 50, your house is paid off. Now you have what? You upped your cash flow because now you don't have a mortgage. Your mortgage payment now goes on top of your cash flow. You take all of that cash flow, pay off your debt weapon. Now you're at 0 again. And then you start doing it with investments. When rent that got over, but I really wanted you to see how much you pay for your house twice. That is my presentation, family. Let me stop sharing. Any questions? We good?
No, we are not good, brother. We are not good.
We're not good. Okay.
No, because the people need to hear and need to know. They need to hear and need to know. And I'm gonna bring Denise back too in case she has something she wants to say. So number one.
Okay.
Going back to the first half of the presentation. Now, you talked about different options people can use to increase their cash flow and all that. Would you suggest using all the options you mentioned that were available to increase one's income? Or would you suggest using the ones that best fit your needs?
You got to use the ones that best fit your needs. Everybody got a different need, right? We don't all have the same problems or the same debts, right? Some people just care about paying off a school loan. Well, that's pretty easy to get accomplished, right? But if you want to get into like really making money and like making money work for you and, start dealing with a lot of, if you want to get into real estate or get into like heavy investing, then you got to do other things. You know what I mean? That's why your biggest investors talk about, I don't know if you heard of Grant Cardone. He's a debt guy. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
the bigger guys use debt, but if it's something small, you may not have to take the same risk as those guys are taking. You know what I mean?
Right. Gotcha. And I'll just add this one little piece here is that, also said, like, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. You know what I mean?
Don't do it. Right.
If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
Right.
That's so simple. Do it. You're gonna lose more than what you're making. It's like, oh, I thought he said it worked. Yeah, it worked. You know what you're doing. So don't do it. It's simple. All right.
The 80% of it is discipline.
Right.
That's
So
it.
my other
Extra
talk
money
about,
is not just extra. I'm
talk
listening.
about interest with the banks, interest in the banks. And you said that, sometimes we pay our house off twice. But you also said
Mhm.
that the bank knows that most people are not going to pay off their house. So what I'm saying is that what O just showed you, and those of you who are listening, we're getting audio right now. O had a presentation, so the video portions are available on my social media page on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on our business YouTube page. So if you want to see the actual presentation, go check that out on those sections that are also in our notes too as well. But if you're not going to pay your house off in 30 years or before you pass away, why would you want to pay twice on your house that you are not going to pay off based on what the bank says? That's just like you're just giving away money for no reason. Just giving it away.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
I'm just saying, like, I wanted it to sink in real
That's
quick
why-
because it's
but-
like, yeah.
It's a must. You at least it's a must that you knock down the principal. You may not pay it off, but it's a must that you knock down that principal quick. Because what happens is eventually you can start using equity in the house to do bigger things with, right? Once you got house equity, you now have a big chunk of money to do really good things with. You know what I'm saying? So, the goal though is if you got like a property that you own that somebody rents and you pay that one off, now you got a goose that's laying golden eggs. Right?
Yeah.
And now the
Yeah.
golden eggs is coming monthly. You know what I'm saying? So, and you get to use the equity in that house to do what I'm talking about with other things. You could pay off your actual own home with that. But yeah.
Got you. So the last thing I'm gonna say is you mentioned that you and your wife are gonna either pay your house off before the year is out or by the end of the year, which is 2023. But my question to you is, when did you guys buy the house?
2009.
2009. So we're
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
We're in 2023. Hasn't been 20
What's that?
years yet. So we're looking at what, maybe
Maybe 15,
15 years, maybe at the most. So
roughly. Yeah.
now
So
I want to
yeah.
put this in perspective real quick. So the house that O has, it's brand new house. They're the only ones that ever live in this house. Brand new. So they're doing in half the time what it would take most of us 30 years or more, or not at all, because you might pass away and still not pay your house off, and you pay double on it. And they're taking half that time to pay a brand new house off. This is why I'm telling you, you need to get with my man O to help you do some things financially, whether it's in the market or just your finances in general, because he knows what he's talking about. I'm just saying, we're not just doing these just to give you guys shows and give you content. Like, we're giving you information that you need to know, because you have people out there who are in college, graduating, people who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And they're kind of like, this information is valuable to you. It's valuable to everyone. I don't care who you are, what ethnicity you are, it is valuable to you. So again, my man, thank you so much for dropping knowledge today on the people. Just in case he talked too fast or the show went too fast, guess what? That's why we have replays and we have audio available. So they'll go back, re-listen, and if you need the visual of the presentation, watch the video portion on my Facebook page, my LinkedIn page, or on our business YouTube page. You can see the presentation, get everything you need. Before we go, Denise, is there anything you want to say before we go?
I'm just speechless right now, honestly, because I'm 20. I'll be 28 this year, and I'm in the process of learning, like buying a house and that process. So you have definitely given me some insight and some tools to use. So thank you. But all I can say is I'm speechless as to seeing the behind the scenes of it, and it's making more sense now. So thank you.
Right.
Well, as my man Jim Carrey said, BEA beautiful. So, Follow us at the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. That's our show for today. You need to think it, speak it, and achieve it. And until next time, myself, O, and the niece, we holla. See you later. Peace.
Thank you for joining the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. And as always, here at Frame of Mind Inc., think positive thoughts, say positive things, and do positive deeds. As our tagline says, think it, speak it, achieve it. See you next time.
It's a frame of mind. It's what you say and what you do.
Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.frameofmindinc.com, where you can browse our online apparel store, listen to some of our original music and production services, as well as view our videos and projects we've done for our clients and customers.